What's going on, people? Digital Sangoma for Turn Up for Local. And today is a very special day. Metro FM Heatwave, first time in Cape Town at Shimmy Beach. And we're sitting here with none other than the TMM, the man at the moment, Kwesta DaKAR. Kunjani mfethu?
I'm good, dog. Wena?
Asikhona siyazama mfethu. First of all, man, you are doing such an amazing job. I want to say congratulations, man, like with the work that you're putting in, with the SA Hip Hop Awards, you got like 7. Did you expect?
It was 6 to be okay.
Was it 6?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I stand corrected, but that was amazing, man. How do you feel though?
It feels great, man. I mean, I'm sure I speak for every artist when I say we don't really do the music for the awards, but it's always great to be acknowledged for the amount of work that you put in and for the impact that the songs have had. So it feels really dope to be patted in the back and congratulated for a good 2018.
Yeah. And having said that, because a lot of kids that are upcoming are looking up to you, you know, because you're doing some amazing work. You're very big on exporting our culture. You know, is it something that you do it consciously, or is it something that you feel like, yo, man, this is me, you know, I'd rather, you know?
It's definitely something I do consciously, you know. It's really, the aim is to, I think South African hip hop is the world is ready for it. I think it's of international standards, if there's such a standard, you know.
Sure.
So I think it's only right that we kind of stretch it as far as we can, you know. So hence the collaborations I've been doing from people that might not be necessarily local, you know. And I think that's good for hip hop generally, you know, to be put in platforms where it would be ignored if you don't use the same people that are sort of the game changers of world hip hop, you know. So it's definitely something I do on purpose, and also bringing the guys this side is also something I do on purpose, you know. It's easy to catch a flight and go there and shoot a video and come back, you know, but then they don't learn nothing about our culture and our things, you know. So I want them to know that. I want to expose them to that, you know, and obviously the rest of the world to the music.
Exactly, and you're doing an incredible job with that. And talking about that, like you brought down Ulrich Ross, was it last week? And you guys, I see that you shot a video in your hood. But the most, I think the highlight of the story, the fact that uGogo, you know, like, but what I want to know, did uGogo knew who Rick Ross was? Like, when you
I won't lie, Coco didn't know.
Wait, I just want to know, like, what was happening in that moment? Like, the introduction, what was...
It was literally that. It was like an introduction. He said, yo, hello, Grandma. My name is Rick Ross. And my grandma said, what's in you, big boss? Rick Ross. Big boss. He had to introduce himself like 3 times.
Yeah,
you know?
3 times.
Yeah, but it was dope. It was cool about it. Also, there was Rich Homie Kwan also in the country, who we also shot a video now, 2 houses from DaKAR, you know. So we literally shot 2 videos in where I grew up, you know, DaKAR. Yeah.
You know what? You're talking about hip hop, but like from me and from my perspective, I look at it from the perspective of this is, you're doing this for the culture, you're doing this for the South African music industry. Not only South African music industry, but African, because the way in which you're telling our story, it's a way in which it was never done before. And then that is very critical for us, especially this day and age, because nobody else can tell that story better than we are doing. And then you're doing an amazing job. Looking at the video that was released, was it 2 days ago, Vur Vai? It's incredible. It's like a childhood fantasy, you know. What was going through your head behind that, like sort of like journey creating that story?
I mean, it's really just about acknowledging the responsibility that I have, you know, to Ingos as a Lukshin, you know, and because we don't have a lot of, coming from the hood, you don't have a lot of people to look up to, superheroes to kind of look up to, you know, and things like that. Those things are not created, so you kind of get forced to get stuck in one situation, and you kind of look at yourself. There's no one to look at, so that's why we created the character Vur Vai, you know, and literally it's going to be a real thing where we go around all sorts of hoods, we help out, you know, we employ, you know, and we empower, you know, and we educate, and we get educated at the same time, you know. So I was just taking on the responsibility that I know I already have from speaking to people who look up to me and go, I will actually play this role, and I'm taking it on, and that's why I wanted to do the video. So the Vur Vai now is like just causing a stir in what is right now the system, where if you're from the hood, you are less fortunate, and your dreams are not valid, or so I want to change that whole spectrum. That's why Vur Vai,
And I think that's very critical, and you're doing an amazing job. Again, we're doing that with intense, because if I'm a kid, like if I was a kid, like at this time, and I'm watching that video, I'm sure that's something I would look up to. That's something that I would want to share with my friends, because it's sort of like a ghetto or township superhero, and then that's something that we don't have. And then the way in which the cinematography is impeccable, and I realized that you worked with Motion Billy, who was doing the cinematography, but the director was
Ofentse,
oh man, Ofentse has been doing some amazing job. Was that something that you guys planned together, or you just approached him because you've seen some of his work?
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously, I approached him because I'd seen the work, because you have to acknowledge the talent, and secondly, we sat down and we just spoke about concepts, and I was kind of telling him what I want to sort of embody for the next couple of years or forever, where I want to take the Kwesta brand and things like that, and I wanted to create a superhero, for and obviously being the creative that he is, being able to see these things, the execution I also think was pretty dope, so shout out to OM, shout out to Ofentse, Uncle Scrooge, thank you for everything. I mean, he really took the message, he really took the concept, brought it to life, and we have a great product right now.
And that's exactly what I got. Like, it touched me, and I'm sure a lot of people, when they're watching that video, they got the same feeling, because it's really what we need as Africans, as South African musicians, because we need to talk about our culture, we need to export our culture, and then we really salute people like yourself, man, and then big up to you, and big up what you're doing and your crew, and Ofentse, a big shout out to you, man, for the work that you're putting in. And that's why we're here as Turn Up for Local, to make sure that we showcase the best of African or South African content, and then talking to people like yourself, and then because you are the ones that are the kids look up to you, and then we need to be able to engage with you so that they get inspired. And they also need to understand that there's so much that we can offer to the world, and then if people like you are not doing that,
then who will, It's also important for platforms like these, because it brings us closer together. It makes us connect with the people, because a lot of the times people think he's too far, and it's kind of so platforms like, thank you for platforms like these, because it gives us a chance to sitting in a band,
Thank you, man. That's why we're here, and we really appreciate you, and then keep doing what you're doing. We love what you're doing. Keep inspiring us, and thank you so much for your time. We don't want to take too much of your time. But one more thing, though. What's next? Because I can conclude by saying this year has been incredible for you. Like, would I be lying? Do you think you've achieved more than you expected this year, or did you think you're just sort of like, there's more plans that you would want to unleash to us, an exclusivity, something like that?
I mean, I do think it was an incredible year, for me personally and professionally, and just as Kwesta, but I don't know, to the question that is like, have I achieved more than I expected? I don't expect, I kind of just put in the work, and I mean, obviously, realistically, there's targets that you set, and kind of met some of those, but I don't have an expectation. I expect of myself to put in the work, whatever the results, then we're either blessed or Asan. We'll see how we improve, and as for plans for the future, and for next, DaKAR III is coming out,
We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's pretty much the biggest thing that I'm gonna do next year, with all the collaborations that I'm doing with South African artists, with American artists, with European artists, and the rest of the continent also, So it's gonna be a very big global album, I don't want to limit the reach, I wanted to speak to the South African, but I want to tell the world about the South African, you know what I mean? And we'll see as it goes, man. I'm putting in the work, and everything else is just based on people's support. I've never thought of myself as I'm amazing alone. I'm literally a product of people's love. So hopefully that continues. Then we'll have a great 2019 also.
Yeah, man. All the best to you when it comes to that.
Thank you.
Talking about the projects that you just told us about. How far are you when it comes to production? 50%, 60%, or is it still in the planning phase? Have you started working with production? Have you started contacting? Do you mind giving us maybe like a couple of few names? Just come on, man. You gotta do it, Mwase.
I know you're chasing the exclusive, but it's gonna be a surprise. I don't even think I'll announce when I'm dropping. You know, it might be a normal Tuesday. You know, I'm just gonna drop because I'm dropping. But yeah, I'm kind of we're well into the project. You know, we've progressed. I've progressed a lot. I'm just going away. By going away, I mean out of like I won't be doing interviews. I won't be doing shows. I won't be doing anything between Jan and Feb. Just making sure that everything is tweaked to the right thing and everything is met to, and it's up to the standard that it needs to be, you know.
We're very lucky to have you now. So, man, all the best. All the best.
This could be the last interview.
All the best for this year. And then we wish you nothing but success, happiness with your family and friends and the crew, the people that you're working with. And then we hope and wish for you a very successful 2019 and 2019 next year. I'm thinking 2020.
That's how you need to think. That's how you need to think.
So,
but thank you, man, and God bless.
All the best, man. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.